first aid specialized wing was here. People from the Titanic were brought to St. Vincent's. Have you heard of the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory? All around this circle are the words to Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman.
So 2 weeks ago, we were shooting at the Music Inn, and we ran into a guy called Tom Casesa, who was playing some of the instruments, and got to talking. He's a really cool guy, born and raised in New York, and has a lot of really niche, interesting hobbies and projects going on. So we've essentially invited ourselves into his home today to learn more.
So I grew up, as you said, in Howard Beach, which is Queens near JFK Airport. And my dad was a donut baker, and they were children of immigrants. My grandparents were from Naples and Sicily, and they came here, typical immigrant story. Childhood was good because I was doing all the things that I loved. I became an Eagle Scout. We were athletic. If you're a city kid and you have parents who didn't camp and hike, it was a way to get out. I went to summer camp every year, a place called 10 Mile River. That's still there, and that's phenomenal. This is the scout camp, and I made a book into it because I've been photographing it for a while. It was Camp Kunatop. So these were all like characters. I'm going to show you a guy I learned to shoot a rifle from named Charlie Monks. You know what I like about you? Nothing.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah. These leaders. There's Charlie. Oh, this is I did too myself with the tripod.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You loved your cowboy hats, huh?
I loved my cowboy hat, and then later with the modeling, it shifted to the like the safari hat. Because I was into Hank Williams and stuff like that. I'm not really a baseball cappy guy. When I was about high school, my brother started working for a local newspaper, and a politician, a great guy called Eddie Abramson. So I started assisting him. And that was really the most fun job. Going around, taking pictures, meeting people, having your photos published. This goes back to when I was doing photojournalism in Queens. And that was a plane that slid off the runway, the Scandinavian airliner. Nobody was hurt, and it landed in Kennedy Airport. So to me, it was very exciting. My friends were doing part-time jobs and getting per hour, and me and my brother were selling photographs. And those were fun days. I kind of wish I would have done that instead of going into corporate. Oh, here's my mom and dad. Look at them. Didn't they? They were like great dressers.
Wow.
In those days,
wow.
You know how people dressed?
They look fantastic.
That's the Neapolitan grandparents, and that's what I base the tour on.
So what are the specific tours that you provide?
I provide two at the moment. One is called the Mom and Pop Food Tour. That's my grandparents. We go in Chinatown and Little Italy, and we only go to places that are mom and pop owned, that have been there for a long time, a couple of them over 100 years. The other one we do is the Mob Movie Tour of New York City. And we go around Little Italy and we talk about Coppola and Scorsese. We talk about gangs in New York, the background to the film, showing the locations. Of course, The Godfather. Donnie Brasco. There's a bar where they filmed the Fugazi scene. They're at the bar. If you don't know it, it's a fantastic movie. And you get a complimentary cannoli. When I was in Greece, look at these. This is, some photographer said to me, "Do you have pictures of yourself to promote your business?" And I didn't. I never had photos taken. So he took all these photos and Greece.
Whoa!
Yeah. my parents, being children of immigrants, without growing up with a lot of money and education, they didn't say, "Oh, for your career, do whatever makes you happy." Instead of doing something like photojournalism, I never thought to do photojournalism or music. I just figured you graduate business school, you go get a corporate job, you make your money, you pay your taxes, and that's your career. It never dawned on me that you could just go do something fun. In the past, say 15 or 20 years, I decided I'm really going to try to do things that I love. Testing. That is a 1/12 scale model of the apartment that I've been working on for years. And this is the townhouse in front of the townhouse. In model railroad trees, I got some leaves from a woman who makes tiny paper leaves in Eastern Europe. Everything about miniatures is accuracy. So after multiple struggles and laser and looking at records, an architect gave me the architect secret. You count the bricks. Well, even the paint. I went and asked the obnoxious guy who was doing construction. I finally charmed him and he gave me the exact colors. My book on Christopher Hitchens. When I was dealing with Graydon Carter at Vanity Fair, I sent him a picture of this. And I thought that'll probably intrigue him. And he was so impressed with it that he said, "Hey Tom, we'd like to do a piece in airmail. Are you up for it?" So I made these miniatures and they were okay, but they weren't as good as some I saw. So I went to the International Guild of Miniature Artisans trade show. So take a look at this. So it's a phone stand. One can almost say you'd have to be absolutely crazy not to have a miniature surfboard phone holder, right? I don't know why it's intriguing, but I always draw people to Conan Doyle, the author of Sherlock Holmes, who said, I'm paraphrasing, but art in the blood is unaccountable. Why do you like this? Who knows? You just do. Oh, one more thing to show you, and then we're out.